Praise the Lord and give all the glory to God, and welcome back to Hickory Sticks Woodworks Northwest. So today we're going to do some these two little projects. It's just some leftover wood that was on the shelf back here that I got to get rid of because I'm running out of room for the cut off ends. It's not scrap wood, it's just unused wood. So we'll go with that. Anyway, these are what we're going to make. Let's get into it. I'm going to start down in this section here. This is mostly cut off from the backers and the doors. It all looks like it's fairly long. That's probably just garbage. Yeah, it's all good usable stuff, so let's make something good out of it. And we'll start with this and see where we end up at. Alright, so I've got 5 of these cut up. These are like 2 3/4, 2 3/8. There's 5 of them, 16 inches long. And over here in this we have 9 of them. They're 14 3/4 by 1 3/8, Stato 9. So we're going to glue these up and we're going to stagger the ends of each and every one of them. I'm going to do about a 2-inch stagger up on each so that they're all even like that, and we're going to glue them edge to edge. So that's one glued up. I'm going to get the other one glued up just like it right there. And then we'll come back and after they're dried, we'll get them out of there and sand them all down, get them all flushed up and cleaned up. Alright, so these have been in clamps for about 3 hours now, so I'm going to pull them out and get them over to the sander and flatten them down a little bit, get the glue squeeze out, get everything up. just going to hit this with the little 120, clean up some of the marks from the drum sander. And you'll notice that on the knots on these, I did not get them poured. The clamps were in the way, so I couldn't get in there with the CA glue and put the CA glue in. So we'll get that here in a little bit. Alright, well, now we got them all cleaned up. I think I want to laser engrave something on the front of these. What do you guys think? A little laser engraving action going on? Why not? Let's do it.
I think I like that better.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. That turned out good. Even with the spot in there. Alright, we'll just give it a little cleanup and then we'll move on to the next step. Meanwhile, I'll put this one in and engrave something on it. Alright, so I sanded it down a little bit, just a little bit. I didn't take much off. I just wanted to get some of that overburn off of it from the smoke and all that. So I found this board and I like it real well. So I cut it to the same width of this. And I'm going to put it on the front of here, about like so. So to do that, I'm going to roll this over to the back side. And I'm going to take my my ruler here and I set it to 3.5 inches. So I'm going to set this right up on here, 3.5 inches. And I'm going to come over to this side and make sure that it is 3.5 inches. Make sure it's square all the way across. Alright, I'm going to take my pencil, I'm going to make a line, both sides. Now I'm going to grab a drill and a bit and drill a couple of holes in here for the screws, countersink, and then I'll screw it in from the other side. I kind of feel like I only probably need like 3 screws in this, so we're just going to come in about 2 inches here. Right there, somewhere around the middle at about 6 inches, and then 2 inches off of that end, and try to hit the middle of those. Not real scientific. I'm going to pull this back off the edge. I'm going to drill a hole in the top of my outfeed table. to get some clamps and hold that on the front of there so that when I run those in, it's kind of squared up. I'm going to stand it up there like that. Try to get this lined up in the center here. Get my hands to work. All right, I think that's going to work out all right. Here we go. All right, I think the next thing we need to do is throw a little color on there, throw some stain on it. Alright, so we got these ready to go. I got the knot filled in here. Now the question is to torch or not to torch. I'm thinking, hey, let's torch it. Why not? Now I don't burn mine real deep like a lot of guys do. I just add a little bit of color across it here and there. That way I don't have to try to scrape it all back off after it's charcoaled. It makes sense to add just a little bit of color. Add a little something to it, a little something different. Make sure you catch the ends and the sides. And not your fingers. Definitely want to keep your fingers out the way. Well, that looks pretty good, huh? I like it. All right, let's do the other one. Yeah, I like that. All right, now let's throw some stain on them. So for stain, we're going to be using gunstock. This is a Behr gunstock on. I think we'll use that on this one here, and on the one with the horses on it, we use Varathane's Special Walnut. One of my favorite colors. And these are already kind of shaken up pretty good. And don't forget your gloves. You don't want to be wearing walnut stain for a week. This stuff does not come out your skin very well. Then we're just going to use this chip brush to throw it on there with. Try not to make too much of a mess with it. And we're just going to slather this on there real good.
inside, all around.
Try this gun stock on this one. I like this color. It's kind of more of a brownish, reddish brown, I guess. But I like the color of it pretty well. I'm going to give it a go. Kind of a, yeah. Clean chip brush, clean rag, clean gloves. Here we go. Tell me in the comments which color you guys think you prefer on these. You like the dark walnut, the special walnut, or do you like the gun stock better? I'm kind of mixed between the two. I like them both really well. It doesn't take very long for that stain to penetrate into the wood. A lot of times they say, oh, you got to leave it on there and let it sit in there for an hour or whatever. No, Oh yeah, I think I like that. That's pretty cool. Good look. Check out the backside. Oh yeah, we'll put some color on there too, because I got fingerprints and smudges and everything all over it. So we'll put a little color on there too. Just that over there. We'll wipe this down. Like I said, it only takes a minute for that to get into the wood. You don't want to oversaturate with your stain. Alright, from there, I'm going to let it sit and dry for about an hour before I do anything else with it. Let me try to get all the wet surface off of there. So I'm going to let it sit and dry for about an hour. And then we've got a couple more things we got to do. Alright, so these have sat and dried for quite a while now. So I'm going to just 2 coats of clear semi-gloss on. I'm going to do them while they're laying down. I got the little yellow stands underneath there to get them up so I can hit the outside edges. And then after this dries, then I'll stand them up and hit the top and bottom of the shells on there. Because I don't want any runs in any of this. So we're just going to, nice and easy like. A little fuzzy right there. And of course got to hit the ends, the insides of this, so it's going to be a little bit of a heavy coat on there, a little heavier than I want, but and of course this side over here. Come around the other side, get the bottom of this. And we'll come over and do the same thing on this one. Just I'll give that 20 minutes. I'll put another coat on there and I'll hit the tops and the bottoms and the front. I'll probably actually hit the front of that now. So the next thing I want to do is we got to find a way to hang these. So I'm gonna get some of these sawtooth hangers. I'm just gonna put this off the edge a little bit here. Find kind of a straight place to bring them across and put one on each side. Something like that. Find some screws. And my little screwdriver. Could always just put one in the center too, I suppose it would work just fine, but I have some heavy stuff on this, so I prefer to have 2 of them on there. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, there's that one. Need a longer square for this one. Probably should have just used this on both of them, I suppose. Now, I'm going to put some hooks on the bottom, and I got two different size hooks for keys, or whatever you want to hang on there. Those smaller ones, and then there's a little bit bigger ones. And I think I like the bigger ones on this one. In right about that area there. And I think I like the smaller ones on this one here. And about that area right there. Something like that. I think that'll work. I'm going to go ahead and put these on here. And I think I can use this little spacer here just to kind of set me evenly off of the back of that. Because my hands are old and arthritic, I think I will use the screw gun to do this. You know what? I think I might even just pilot a little hole right there with a drill. Make it a lot easier. Yeah, that'll help me get them started anyway. Well, so here they are. They're all done, ready to go. Let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer. You like the wider strips, or you like the narrower strips with more of them. This one's just a little bit wider. They're this one's a little taller than this one. So let me know what you prefer, and if you prefer the darker stain, or you like the red stain, the gunstock or the walnut. Or if I should do some of them in a very light tone, natural tone, burnt, unburnt. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all the feedback that I can possibly get on these. These are a new product. I've never made these before. They were all scrap wood. Actually, not scrap wood. They're just unused wood. I don't really call it scrap wood because it's a cut off from other projects, and it goes on a shelf back here, and I got to find a way to use it up or burn it, and I prefer not to burn money. So. Okay, yeah, the only cost really on these are the little hooks down here and the Z brackets to hang them on the wall, and my time. Other than that, there was wood that was already purchased, so, and I've made my money back out of that. So pretty much the lumber is very negligible. I'm into them, what, $8-10 maybe at the most, stain, yeah, and time. And that was probably the biggest part of the whole thing was the time to build these, and it really didn't take a whole lot of time to mill all the wood down, glue it up, put it together, do the engraving on it. It was not a lot of work, so these are an easy project that should net some pretty good return on investment. So let me know what you guys think, and appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.